Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Kosha. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. So, you are going to teach a class in the new course on Sketchbook School called Storytelling. And I heard your shoot for your class was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, we really had a good time in the studio. It was so much fun. I mean, we had two magnificent dancers came in, and I asked them to just do their thing, and they sort of discussed together what they wanted to do for us, and I made drawings of what they came up with, and it was kind of great, because the course is storytelling, which I love that theme for drawing. My class in particular, we're talking about body language and gesture and how that can tell a story. So, in a sense, I really didn't want to know too much of what they were doing because the idea was I would just react and see, can I read the story and tell the story through my drawings of what they were performing. And it just really worked out. We had such a great time, and oh my God, wait to see these dancers. They were they were wonderful. They really were. They really were.
We met in Amsterdam recently and we sketched together in the pouring rain.
Mm-hmm.
I know you draw gestures really well, so body language, that kind of gestures, but also your drawing style is very you make gestures like it looks very quick and loose. Is that also something we will see from you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sure. Actually, when the shoot started, everyone was so nice. They set up a table and chair for me, and I was like, "Can I just sit on the floor? I just want to sort of have a little more freedom to move." And it's interesting that you mentioned that because I do teach a lot of drawing classes, and that's something I always say is that your energy is just as important as the model's energy or the scene, the energy of the scene, because you get out of it what you put into it, right? And so when you put that energy into your drawing, it comes back and it shows on the paper. I really think it does.
And it probably also really adds to the story you are telling in your drawing.
Yeah, you find yourself almost mimicking at times the body language that you're drawing. I mean, I'm not a dancer, but you do get caught up in it. And it's I think that's what I like the most about that.
Yeah, I do that when I draw faces and I draw an expression. I also make the expression of the face when I'm drawing it. Somehow, I don't know if it helps, but it just happens.
It just happens. Yeah, you almost can't even help doing it because you're it's very what's the word? Like there's a lot of empathy involved in drawing people, and you put yourself in their position a lot of times. So, yeah, you take on their expression, you take on their body language.
Yeah, and do you have to be a quick drawer if you draw people, or can you take it also as a bit of a slow drawer? Because I remember sitting next to you and I saw you just drawing very quickly, and I was like, oh, I only have two lines here, and then you said something that really resonated with me, like everybody has his own pace.
Exactly.
But how do you take that with you if you actually draw people that move?
Yeah, that's a good question. And the thing is you have to rely on memory. And it's especially when people are moving fast, there is a tendency to I have to keep up, I have to draw at that pace. But the truth is you draw at your own pace. Like I said to you, everybody draws at their own pace. And so the idea is, somebody goes by, you draw them, but you do have a memory of what you saw. And you can complete the drawing from your memory, sort of as much as you're able. And then it's like the old saying, practice. As you practice and as you do this kind of drawing, your memory gets better. And you find that even if you are not like naturally a quick draftsman, if you're a slower, sort of more deliberate kind of draftsman, you are able to remember more and put down more. And, I mean, there's no sort of shortcut to that. It's sort of time and grade and doing it. But if you go after it, it definitely improves. Memory improves the more you draw, the more your memory improves, and you can draw people moving. But yeah, you have to do it at your own pace.
And well, of course, you teach classes.
Hmm.
Now you are teaching a class online. Do you
Right.
feel like there's a difference between well, Sketchbook School and any other real life class?
Well, I guess it remains to be seen. I've never done this before, and I'm really interested to see what the differences are. Um, I probably the only difference will be just sort of like there's that mediation of the computer, but the beauty of something like that, obviously, is that I can work with people all over the world, on this platform, and it's really an amazing thing. And I think that the nice thing about the video is that you do get to know. I mean, obviously, I don't get to know the students through videos, but they get to know us, and hopefully, that's going to bridge that distance a little bit.
Right, and most importantly, hopefully people get really inspired to go out there and do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it's all about, right? It's going out and doing it.
I am also really looking forward to what people will draw, because there's people everywhere around you. You can just go out, sit down, and draw people. You don't need like models or dancers.
Exactly.
So you can find them anywhere.
Something that I've noticed too is that when you start to do that, if you just put yourself in a situation and you start to draw, stories start to happen. And I don't know if it's that you are looking and you're noticing, or that in your looking you're almost making it happen. It's that energy again. When you're involved with the drawing, you're also adding your own energy, and the situation changes. So you could, I'm really curious too to see what happens and see what people do with these assignments that I've given, because I do believe that when you sit down someplace and you say, I'm going to observe what's going on here, it does make a change in what you observe, and the stories start to happen. And it's like a chain reaction.
And you could even make up your own stories. I mean, if you see someone in the grocery store or something, you can make up a whole story, because every person has a story, So
Yeah.
that might also be interesting to just write little bits next to your drawing.
Yeah, we all kind of do that anyway, right? Like, oh man, look at this guy, check that, and we sort of project our own stories onto people as well. So that's definitely part of it too.
You're also a little bit of voyeur, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And maybe a little bit of a mind reader, but you never really know if you're right or not.
So, is there anything else? Do you have any tips, or is there anything you would like to share, or
tips? I don't know. I'm really excited about this course in Sketchbook School of storytelling. I'm really looking forward to see what people do with my assignment in particular. I can't wait to see it. And I guess the only thing I would say, as in terms of a tip, is please approach it with an open mind. We all have a tendency to have an expectation, like, I want this drawing to do that. And sometimes when you can just say, I don't care what this drawing does, this is an experiment, and always look at it as an experiment, that's when the magic happens, right? Because you're open for it. So I just, I hope everyone can enjoy it and come to class with an open mind and be ready to work.
That sounds really good. So then we'll see each other in class.
Yeah, see you in class, Kosha. Bye-bye.